Hello again, everyone, and welcome back again for another video. What I got today is something I've actually been waiting for quite a while. I was supposed to get this like last month, but there was kind of a delay in shipment. But anyways, what this is a brand new HP TG01 sent over to me by HP to play around with and give my review on and, well, just, have fun with. So I've actually sold several of these computers years back when I was still working in retail sales. Um, I kind of have mixed opinions of them, honestly. Like I said, this is the newest model. This is the TG01 2022. Link to it's going to be down in the description here. So we'll go over the specs on this one here in just a bit. But then that's not really what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today is something that a lot of people are curious of, and that's this little green light down here that they put in there to make things glow. Now, this computer, I mean, like if you look at the pictures of it online, it's got like this kind of green plate going here. This one, I mean, it's there, but it's kind of hard to see. The only green you could really see is right down at the bottom. And if you know me, you know that, I ain't going to settle for that. So that's what we're going to do today is we're going to play with this and see if we can get that to change. Another thing is let's take a look here. Let me go ahead and flip on a light here so you can see. I took off the plate here. Let me throw it back on there so you can see how that goes. Anyways, there's really not much for circulation in here. As you can see, the front's all one piece there. There's not much space in there. I mean, right here, you could put a fan that looks like, I don't know, maybe an 80 millimeter. Probably not. Yeah, probably an 80 millimeter. Here's a 92. I'd like to do something with the cooling in this, too. Now, I've just kind of played around with the notion of putting maybe a fan right in here. This is a 92 millimeter RGB fan. The only thing is it kind of bumps right there. Otherwise, it would kind of fit, I suppose. But I don't really want to. I'll probably go like right there. So that's something else I'm going to do. I was kind of hoping to put two of them in here, right here in this area, but we'll see. The way these things are built, they just the space they give you to work with is kind of like right here is where our extra hard drive will go, and we'll do that. We'll put another hard drive in here. We'll do a little more upgrading than just doing the RGB stuff on here. I'll do some other stuff too. 8 gigs of RAM is what it's got right here. I'm not exactly happy with that. I'm gonna bump that up. Let's see. These fans, these stock fans, I think those are going to go too. What is this one? Is this one a 92? Ooh, this one a 92 millimeter as well? Let me see here what this is. 92, yep, that's a 92. This one is an 80. Okay. I actually kind of expected this one to also be a 92, but it's only an 80. That's weird. I'm honestly not too happy with that cooling. Maybe I'll change that. I don't know. I guess we'll see as we go along. Mainly, though, I want to, like I said, focus on this little green light there. You can see it from here. I actually took this little cover off here. Normally, this would be kind of blocked off. But I have this cover off because I was playing with this earlier. And this actually looks like it'll actually be pretty easy to do. So let me go ahead and cut this scene here, and let's tear it apart. Okay, tearing this apart shouldn't be too hard at all. There's some little tabs right here. We're just going to take those and lift those up, push them back a little bit, and that's going to bring this little door down. Now let's go ahead and just unplug this. Here we go. From there, and we'll scoot this computer off to the side now. And we can focus on this thing here. Now, this comes off just with some little tabs here. You just take them, and you just kind of take your finger and carefully pop these back. Let me get these off here. There we go. There's that one. And we'll get this one. Okay, this is off. Now, what you should have then is this wire leading into this white thing. Let's go ahead and take this off. There's a couple tabs right here on this side and this side that we're going to take and scoot back. Just kind of lift up really carefully. Don't break this, guys. Be careful with it. There we go. Now we can have a look here. Let's set this off to the side. And what this is just a little strip in there going on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little RGB lights. And it's held in there in this little slot. Is this glued in here? Probably not. But you just pop it out. There we go. Yeah, we just popped it out. It's just this little thing here. So if we're going to put RGB in this and replace this with some kind of RGB, we need something little that's going to fit in here. Obviously, you can see this isn't a regular RGB strip. Do I have one handy that I could show you? No, not really. But yeah, that's because it's really, really thin here. It's probably about 4 millimeters, I'd say. So yeah, let me cut this scene and go look in my box of stuff and see what I can come up with that can kind of replace this. I'll see you in just a second, guys. Okay, so I looked in my box of RGB tricks to see what I can find, and I think I found something that just might work. Let me get my screwdriver thing here and change this out. What this is, let me scoot this over here. What this is one of those easy DIY fab memory covers. I had this in a box there, and it's actually a memory stick there too. I'll have to see what that is. But let me go ahead and unscrew this, tear this apart. Now, you're wondering, now what the hell am I doing? Well, I happen to know, because I've torn these apart before, I happen to know that on the inside of these, the RGB strip that's used in them happens to be very, very small. So there you see I tore that apart. Let me go ahead and, there we go. There it is. Inside here, look at that. We got a little RGB strip that we can play with. So, let me go ahead and reassemble this real fast. I'll just put this over here and I'll just stick this on this shelf here. Play with that later. Get my screws so I don't lose those. Hold on. Alright, so look at that. So now we have an RGB strip. It's a little bit longer than this one, as you can see, but that's okay. We can make that work. I guess we gotta kind of determine how long we need to be here. So right about there, it's about 5 of them. Now we don't want to snip this circuit here. Now, like I said, I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna take, and we'll go right past where this circuit is. There we go. There we go. Nice little one. Now we could probably take that and goes in here. Okay. Yeah. That maybe. I might have to get out my glue gun. I'm not sure. I'm just kind of winging this. I've never done this before, obviously. It's holding right there. Not too bad. Like I said, though, I'll probably have to take out the glue gun to make this work. Oh no, it's fitting in there. Maybe my cutting was off just a little bit. Let me go ahead and cut this seam because this damn camera is in my way, and see if I can finesse this in here the way I want. I'll see you in just a second. All right, so that actually worked out rather well. Now that I had the camera out of my way, I was able to just pop this in and let him sit there, and then it holds just fine. Excuse me. So I went ahead and popped the plate back on there, and you can see there's like this little groove right here where this wire will go through. So I go ahead and put that in there like that. That looks pretty good. And then here's our cover. I can take the cover now. All right. So now, instead of this plain old green wire, we've got an RGB lead going out here that we can actually feed into it right here and feed that through. And we're pretty much done with this. So now all we have to do is get it wired up. Let me go ahead and stick this back on here. There we go. There we go. So that part's done. So we got the beginnings of some RGB going on here, guys. Nice. All right. So now I need to focus on this little plate right here. Like I said, I wanted to do a fan right there. This one's a little too thick, 25 millimeter going that way. Let me pause the video, go look in my inventory. I'm pretty sure I've got a fan for this. I'll be right back. And so I looked, and no, I didn't. I had another RGB 92 millimeter. That was actually an ID Cooling brand. So, but this is also 25 millimeter that way. I don't have any 15 millimeter low profile ones. Bummer. I think I could still make it work, though. Like I said, I kind of wanted to do two fans in here. I'm pretty sure I can get one in, just the 92. Maybe we'll go right there. That's probably about right. I'd say right there, right above that thing. All right. So let's take this out. Maybe kind of line it up. There it is. There's a hole. There's a hole. See, the holes don't really line up either. And I guess I could, if I wanted to, just kind of, let's see here. Do it like that. If I wanted to, I guess I could just, drill some holes in here and make this fit. But I don't really want to force it too much. Just a second here. Let's see what I got in my. Here we go. I got some of these. I think this might do the trick. Let's find out here. These are some of the little rubber things that put. We'll send one through here. Let's see. If I can get it through the hole. Maybe put some hair on it. All right. So. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the way I'm going to go, just because then I don't have to destroy any of the holes in there. Let me go ahead and cut this scene and get this fan taken care of, and I'll be right back. All right, so I did my initial setup here and testing. I'm not done yet, of course. I just wanted to make sure my lights are working first before I do anything. Over here is my controller, but down here we can see the lights at the bottom, and we can also see the fan that I put in there here in the dark. I can actually take my remote control here, and as you can see, I can now change this to different colors. So this is shaping up to be a decent computer now, huh? Well, not that it wasn't decent, but yeah, there's kind of a little more color there to it now that you can see. Let me go ahead. We can set this to a static color. See, I don't think I have the right remote control for this thing. But yeah, looking pretty good so far. Let me go ahead and flip on the light here so you can see that. Let me take this over. Ugh. Oops, here. I don't have it screwed down yet. But that's all right that it fell. That means you can take a look here at what it looks like on the bottom. 92 millimeter is what I use. This is an ID cooling 92 millimeter, so it does have the RGB on it. What I'm using right here is just one of those Cool Moon, or no, this is a GIM controller. You could use one of those as the basics. That memory cover that I showed you that I use for this front over here, if you buy those kits and you buy the ones that come with the RGB controller, that's got a little controller too that you can use for easy RGB in this too. The only thing is that it's a Molex, and so you'd probably have to use something like, let's see, something like this adapter here, which is SATA to Molex, to make that work. But otherwise, you know, something like this runs on a SATA. Here it is right here. Right here. This runs on a SATA. If you're planning on putting in more drives in this computer, you'll want to keep that in mind, because there's only like 2 SATAs in here. And the thing about this TG01, and a lot of these TG01s, Dell does this shit too, is the power supply in it is proprietary. So you can't do a board swap on this thing. You're kind of limited with the SATA connections they give you if you do want to expand. I think you can get 3 more drives in here, if I remember right, reading on the spec thing for it, looking at the motherboard. Let me put that in there. I see 1, 2. Yeah, I'm only seeing 2 extra SATA ports there for drives, so maybe it's only 2 extra drives. But yeah, they kind of stuff it all in there, and it's I don't know, how do I explain this. I don't really care for the way HP does this. I really wish they would, at least with the power supplies, you know, make them so that you can change them out. I mean, it sucks if something like that goes out and you have to get a proprietary one. Motherboard too. It's actually, I don't know if we can see it, how well you can see it, but this motherboard right here is actually, it's actually part of the case, kind of, so that if you want to pull the motherboard and swap it, it really wouldn't be that easy, because all your ports and stuff are sticking that way. It's just really sucks, man. And it's like, you know, people like me like to swap these things, and so when HP does something like this doesn't really make it a potential buy for somebody like myself. But it does have some nice specs in here that I like this Radeon 5500 in here. That's nice, and it's got a Ryzen 5300G. Now, if I wanted to, I could pull this out and run it with just the integrated graphics, and this thing would run pretty badass. But I think this is actually kind of a good combination that they got going on here. Anyways, I'm babbling. So like I said, I use this to control it. Sorry. I use this to control it for now, but I kind of want to go a little bit beyond that. So when I say that, I means I want to maybe do something where I can control it with my motherboard in software. Now, you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, so how are you going to do that? Because if you look at this board, there is no, I don't think there is, let me see, I don't see any. There is no USB 2.0 ports to plug any internal connector things in. So I'm going to have to fix that. So let me cut this scene here. I have to go pee anyway. So let me cut this scene here and go look on the shelf, and I'm positive I have something to fix that. So I'll see you in just a second. Okay, so I got a couple things laid out here. Let me show you what those are. I got this here. This is the Initech KT406. This is for an internal USB 3.0, and it'll also give us 2 external USB 3.0. And what I'm using to control the RGB is a Corsair Lighting Node Pro. That's nice, because then I can run it in software. Now, the Corsair Lighting Node Pro plugs in with a USB 2.0 port, as you can see there. And this, of course, as an internal USB 3. So what I have is a little adapter thing here that actually plugs in to the USB 3.0 port. Let me do that real fast here. Gentle with these, there we go. And you could take that off there, and that converts that into a USB 2.0. So when I put it in there, into that open PCI slot, I'll have an extra USB 2.0 for this right here. Let me put that on there. And boom, instantly, we've got an internal controller for our Corsair lighting node. Now, while I have this open, I am going to put some more memory in there. 8 gigs, not enough these days. I'm going to go ahead and bump this up to 16. I got some HP memory here, some V6 stuff here. I don't think I'm going to change out the fans. I think I'm just going to leave them the way they are for now because I don't have an 80 millimeter to replace this with. I got a 92. If I wanted to, I could put more RGB in there, but it's going to be kind of silly because it's, you know, only shows right there. So, but I think I'm going to leave the fans in there for now, though. But I am going to put more memory in here, and I think we'll add a secondary hard drive in here. Just to upgrade this a little bit more. Let me go ahead and cut this scene. I need to power down this computer here and you know, do some stuff. All right, see you in just a bit. All right, so far so good, man. This is actually going a lot easier than what I expected it to. I'm turning off the lights there so you can see this. I got Corsair IQ software up there. I do have this hooked up. Actually, let me turn the lights back on real fast so you can see it. There we go. We'll put it in there. As you can see, we got the card here. There's a USB adapter plugged into the Corsair Lighting Node Pro, leading down to there. Now, I'm not even using Pirate Dog Tech adapters. This is just actually, this was a gigabyte adapter to regular RGB. I just plugged that into the Lighting Node Pro, and that worked just fine. As you can see, we are lit up here. Let me go ahead and shut off the lights there again, so we can see that. But yeah, here's our little light here on our front, so that's looking pretty good. So we can go ahead then and in Corsair, and you know, change these to whatever we want. Like there's our rainbow. Let's see, marquee. We can go a marquee effect. Let me see if I can get down in there a little bit closer so you can see that. Beat that up. But yeah, I guess it's kind of hard to see in this light. But maybe if I change the color on it. There we go. We can go green, yellow, blue. But the point is that there's all kinds of stuff we can do now, and we can customize it, and it doesn't have to be just a green light like it was before. We could even set it to audio lighting so it'll beat to music. And then, of course, since this is Corsair, we can also sync it up with other Corsair devices. If you happen to, say, have a Corsair keyboard or a Corsair mouse or mouse pad or whatever, you'll be able to sync your computer up in Corsair as well. So that's kind of neat. Something to think about there. We can do color wave here. Let's see what that does. Yeah, see, that kind of goes back and forth. That's kind of neat, isn't it? Let me speed it up a little bit here so you can see it. So far so good. Like I said, this has actually went fairly easy. It was just a matter of putting that USB-C adapter in there, then converting it to USB 2, and then sticking the lighting node on there. Not much to it at all. And of course, I did put more memory in here. I got 16 gigs going on in here now. RGB's done. Only thing that's left to do now is, I guess, well, stick another hard drive in here. We'll expand the storage on this. And I think this is pretty much wrapped up. Let me stop this scene here, go ahead and finish that, and then we'll come back and take one more look at this, and then that's going to be it for this video, guys. All right, one last look in the dark at this thing before we carry on. You can see this is looking pretty good here. Let me go ahead and open up the IQ software one more time. And let's just set this to rainbow for now. There we go. We'll speed it up. So as you can see, it was really successful here. Let me do something here, see if we can find a different. There we go. Just kind of maybe a cool pattern there to go with it. Let me speed it up a little bit. Let me go ahead and turn on the light so you can have a look at that in the light. So I mean, it's not like a major change to it. It's kind of a subtle change. It was, you know, a little bit of a pain to do, to take that old wire out of there and snip it or snip the new RGB in there and wire it all up and make that work. Now the fan on the side here, I actually just used a PWM splitter and I patched that in with the CPU. So this should actually spin with the CPU. So this machine, you know, even with the additional fan, is really quiet. And I think with the addition with the RGB in the front here that I did, that really makes it look nicer. Awesome. I know a lot of people have been wanting to do that with their HP because, you know, this is a pretty common computer. You know, they sell it at Walmart for the most part. You know, you could, of course, get it on Newegg and Amazon and what have you. And it's actually a pretty popular model, and it's probably because it's sold at Walmart, and that's where everybody goes. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of have mixed feelings about it. The specs sometimes are kind of, yeah, like when I first started selling them a few years ago, what they have in them, like 1650s, I think it was, and I can't remember what the CPU was. I'm thinking it was like a Ryzen 3600 or whatever. It was okay, but at the time I thought the price was a little out there. This one I believe retails for $6.99, and I will leave a link down in the description, of course, you know, where you can find this at. But anyway, $6.99, and I thought that was actually a pretty good deal considering what you get. Considering just the graphics card alone in here, which is a 5500 XT Radeon, that alone kind of makes it worth the sale price that this is being sold for, $699, $700. You know, you factor in the cost of that Radeon and subtract that, and then for what the rest of this would cost you, I think you're getting a pretty good deal. I really do wish HP would you know, maybe do something like I've done here, like with the RGB, maybe just to make it just a little bit cooler, And I think these would probably be a lot more popular if they did that. Not only with this right here, maybe put like a little stripe down there, just something to kind of lighten it up. I mean, I get this, you know, with the whole front face there and no air coming in. That's just kind of the way the OEMs have always kind of been. And, you know, a lot of times they'll do this, like with the side, with the vent or whatever. I think they should focus on that and work on that a little bit more, just to make the aesthetic design of these cases a little more appealing, quite honestly. Other than that, I mean, they're okay. I mean, if you bought one from Walmart and you're happy with it, you know, I mean, you know, you could do a little more to it, like I said, you know, with the RGB, like I just showed you here, and maybe make it look a little cooler. But you can't swap it, and that kind of sucks because, you know, I love doing board swaps. But anyways, that's it for this one. Like I said, like in 2 or 3 videos ago, I'm still waiting on my daughters. They're painting that up there. And the thing with that is that they're painting it up at the body shop, but I just told them there is like no priority in that at all because they have other customers to tend to. I've got tons of computers I could be working on, and Kayla's in no hurry for a new computer. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Thinking we might do the Hackintosh next. I've got that one just about done, and that one's Nice. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. This is the HP TG01, and this is the RGB modification that I did on it, again, so you can see that. So I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you in the next build. Have a great night, I guess. Bye, guys.